Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss a colorful and scratch-resistant Audemars Piguet Royal Oak offshore chronograph in a combination of black and blue ceramic. Now this model, as you see, it came out in 2023 and it's 43 millimeters in diameter. It's 14.5 millimeters thick from lug to lug, just the case. It's 53.7 millimeters. And if you include the plots, or these little intermediate links, total rigid distance across the wrist is 56.4, so it's a big boy. Throwing it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, I'll let you be the judge of whether it's too big or a decent fit, but I'm just going to say this is a 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and from a distance, I think it looks pretty good. And I would also argue that being very light, made of sapphire, titanium, and ceramic, it doesn't feel bulky on the wrist. You could see in profile it's not super thick, so it will fit underneath a lot of dress shirts, and you'll be surprised in that regard, and just about all jacket cuffs. Again, this is a 16 centimeter circumference wrist here, and down the barrel, I got a little bit of clearance on each side. Over the top, which tends to exaggerate the width of the watch, it's not stretching beyond my wrist. And it's worth mentioning that part of the reason this is a better fit than I expect is because the lugs are angled down on each side. The strap's a lovely piece. You can see it's sort of a fresh ultramarine. Aged ultramarine would be darker than this. This is somewhere between cobalt and fresh ultramarine, or Audi Nogaro blue, where it has undertones of purple. We have a textile pattern on the top. We have a contrasting black stitch. Folded on its edge, it's bolstered to give it some volume, and then on the back you can see a more conventional black calf leather. Taking a look, you can see that this features a quick release system. So you press these two little triggers here, and the strap comes off. It's exactly like a car seatbelt. It's very simple. Audemars Piguet has a million different options for you to accessorize this and make it what you want it to be. You can also see that they realize that having a quick release from the case is not helpful unless you can quick release the buckle from the strap as well. And there is a little system where you can actually move this mobile component just like that and then slide the bar right out. So if you wish to quick release the buckle itself, you have the ability to do that too. And you can see the buckle is brushed, polished, and it's got a little bit of media blast on the bottom. Case finishing is exactly what you would get on a metal Royal Oak offshore, which is to say very nicely detailed and time-consuming too to do with diamond-tipped milling tools. But we've got the bevels, we've got the satin, we've got the polish and the clean break between them. Where you see metal, the hardware is titanium, and you can see that we've got titanium guards fixed by screws for easy replacement for the chronograph pushers as well as for the crown. The pushers themselves, the crown shoulder, and the bezel, all blue ceramic. Ceramic is highly scratch-resistant, second only to the sapphire on the watch, and it's likely that unless you're truly abusive to your watch, it'll never show a mark. We have a little bit of luminescence here. I'm going to show you the lume on the dial. It's actually quite easy to read in the dark. We have a screw-down crown. We have 100-meter water resistance. The watch features a bezel that's actually thinner at 6 and 12 o'clock, and it thickens a bit at 3 and 9. And the idea is that you've got this sort of ebb and flow of the volume of the bezel all the way around. AP art design is always very subtle. You can also see the way that affects the unconventional form and thus the refractory qualities of the crystal. We have a rounded octagonal bezel dating back to the original 1972 Royal Oak coined by Gerald Genta. He was at the time inspired by a vintage diving helmet. We've got little polished stainless steel hex bolts inside the bezel, and then hex is also the form for the shoulder on the crown. And if you take a close look, you can see the side of the shoulder is brushed, and then the outer face is polished, and you can see a comparable differential finish on the chronograph pushers. About the chronograph, it is of the flyback nature, which means you can reset and restart without first stopping and resetting, which means it's great for timing events that occur in rapid succession. The screw-down crown and the screw-fixed case back give you 100 meters of water resistance, so on a water-resistant strap, yes, you could swim with it. We have the Mega Tapisserie dial, and you can see that it is the big hobnail. The Petite Tapisserie is what you get on a jumbo. The Grand Tapisserie is what you get on a standard Royal Oak automatic. And then this is the Mega, the biggest hobnail. And you can see it's actually a gradient. It's light at the center and darker at the edge. We've got a tachymetric scale outboard, which can be used with the chronograph to gauge the speed of an object, such as a runner around a course or a race car across a kilometer. We have polished chapterings for each of the sub-registers, and we do have a flush date disc now. The date in a tunnel was a relic of the Royal Oak Offshore's long-running modular chronograph complication. Now the base movement with the date is truly flush right up against the bottom of the dial, so it's no longer sitting in a tunnel relative to your vantage point. Now we've got hacking seconds, so you can set the watch against a reference time. Just make sure we're not in the date change danger zone here. You see we have an instantaneous jumping date. And then we have a quick set mechanism as well. Screw that down just like that, turn it over. A big movement now, 32 millimeters diameter, a better fit for the case back of an Offshore than the older 3126. So it's a automatic winder with hybrid ceramic bearings for greater efficiency. 70-hour power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate, 40 joules. We've got a column wheel function selector right there for a very positive feel, and then we've got a vertical clutch, so the engagement is seamless without any jump or stagger, and you can leave your chronograph engaged without any additional wear, tear, or hazard to the watch. That's a property of the vertical clutch. And if you look carefully, right here, this is one of the few movements I've ever seen that takes pains to make the vertical clutch visible. That's unusual, but this watch has it. The beat rate is 4 hertz. It all pivots on 40 joules. We've got a full balance bridge for shock resistance and a free-sprung gyromax style balance for both shock resistance as well as the ability to adjust the timing quite finely for a more precise timepiece. We have Media Blast satin polish and stripes. There's engine turning on the base plate. The screw heads are all mirrored. It's a judicious blend of manual and machine finishing, and that's just the way it is on mainstream Holy Trinity watches, and that's true of Vacheron, that's true of Patek, that's true of AP, that's true of Lange in Germany. But the judicious blend of both creates a very aesthetically pleasing movement that is worth looping, so you're getting your money's worth. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.